Damn, it hurts me to say it. And don't tell me that I'm over-exaggerating, because I'm not. But Jaron Boots Ennis is heading to Demetrius Boo Booville. Alright? His career is heading to Boo Booville. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar with the channel, Punch Wrong Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. You know I support Demetrius Andrade. And you know, if you're familiar with the channel, that I was the first one in this community, in the YTBC, in the YouTube boxing community, to be bigging up Jaron Boots Ennis 7 years ago. I was interviewing Jaron Boots Ennis. I was the first one interviewing Jaron Boots Ennis and things of that nature, praising him, predicting that he will be the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. So this is going to hurt me to say it. All right? Look, we like to compare fighters, potential great fighters, with the greats, and we like to compare potential great fighters or elite fighters with their contemporaries. Jaron Boots Ennis has fought nobody. Let's be real, let's be honest. Yeah, he fought Stanionis, but Stanionis, it's not like he beat Earl Spence or Bud Crawford or Keith Thurman to get the title that he got. Nor did Jaron Boots Ennis. So, Jaron Boots Ennis didn't beat nobody special. Matter of fact, he even had a rematch with Karen. Alright? A rematch with Karen. His last fight was against Lima. In one of the most stacked divisions in the sport of boxing, you picked a Lima. I was not happy, but I gave Jaron Boots Ennis a pass because, of course, traditionally, of course, if we're a hardcore boxing fan, we understand that there's stay busy fight. There's testing the waters when you jump up in weight class. But ladies and gentlemen, when we see guys like Devin Haney jump into the 140-pound division after beating Vasily Lomachenko and going to fight Regis Prograis, and then jump into another weight division right away and fighting Brian Norman Jr., there's levels to this. All right? Teofimo Lopez already a two-time lineal champion. If it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, he would have been recognized as the first two-division undisputed world champion in the full belt era. Shakur Stevenson is a three-division world champion, already unified the titles in the super featherweight division. These are the guys that Jaron Boots Ennis came up with. Matter of fact, Jaron Boots Ennis turned pro first than these guys. And look what these guys have accomplished. Even Gary Antoine Russell became a champion, beating the champion. Jaron Boots Ennis and his team fumble the bag and fumble great opportunities to fight Vergil Ortiz, not once, but I believe twice. We all know that. Also, he had an opportunity to fight Teofimo Lopez. Turkey Out Shake was throwing the money. Eddie Hearn said it, that there was a great offer on the table. The best offer on the table, the most money that he ever would have made. Right? His team declined that. Ain't even returned an email to Turkey Out Shake, as Turkey Out Shake alluded. And what I mean about that his career may head to Boo Booville is when Team Boots decide that they truly want to dare to be great and want to fight elite fighters, noticeable fighters, recognizable fighters, fighters with relevancy, they're going to be like, yo, why are we going to risk it with Jaron Boots Ennis for? Remember, you're in a 154-pound division, the stacked division in the sport of boxing, one of the most competitive division in the sport of boxing and deepest division in the sport of boxing. Vergil Ortiz right now is in the driver's seat. And Vergil Ortiz, just like everybody else, if they really want to, have a lot of options. Vergil Ortiz, after the fight with Lubin, if he beats Lubin, he's probably going to go after Fundura versus Thurman, the winner of Fundura and Thurman. Vergil could pick the winner of that, the loser of that. He could pick Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo said that he's going to head back to the 154-pound division. Vergil Ortiz could pick even Tim Tszyu. Vergil Ortiz, I mean, I'm just saying there's money there. Vergil Ortiz could be like, yo, Xander Zayas, Mexican, Puerto Rican. Fundura, Mexican versus Mexican in Texas. Earl Spence, they both came up from the same schooling. That will pack a stadium, because look, if Earl Spence could do almost 40K with Urdenis Ugas, imagine what he could do with Vergil Ortiz out there in Dallas, where they both from. Vergil Ortiz got all. Vergil Ortiz is right now is probably ranked number 1 in the 154-pound division. He already headlined several cards. His resume is up to par. He don't even got the belt, but ladies and gentlemen, he's more proven than even Boots, in my opinion. The Boachuk, the Maurice Hooker, the Mean Machine, the Madrimov, and those all coming, you know what I'm saying, trying to outperform Bud Crawford with the Madrimov, with the Bean Machine. Remember when Demetrius Andrade in the 160-pound division was a champion? Not even Canelo Alvarez felt that he needed to risk it with a slick southpaw fighter. And guess what? The fans didn't care. You know why? Because they was always hitting Demetrius Andrade with the, but you duck Jermell Charlo. See, a lot of people didn't feel sorry for Demetrius Andrade because they felt that he avoided big fights before, just like Jaron Ennis. They're comparing it. They're going to compare it. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for almost 2 years already. People don't feel sorry for Demetrius Andrade because they feel like he should have fought Lara, Korobov, several fights in 154. That by the time it got to the 160, and by the time that Demetrius Andrade is in position to get some great fights with Triple G, Jamal Charlo. You remember Jamal Charlo? Jamal Charlo said we blackballing Demetrius Andrade. He was speaking probably on behalf of his brother because Demetrius Andrade did not fight Jamal Charlo due to contractual and things of that nature that was happening with Demetrius Andrade. Promotional hiccups, just like Jaron Ennis. Promotional hiccups. All the skills in the world. An Olympian. And you know what? People was giving other fighters a pass not to face Demetrius Andrade. There was over. Look, people even to today say, well, you dug Jennebeck. Same thing they're going to do with Jaron Ennis. By the time that he truly wants to fight Vergil Ortiz going to be like, man, I got so many options, man. I don't need you. And I won't even risk it with you. Why? What you going to give me? What do you have that I want? Other fighters going to say the same thing when they get in position. Look at Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas can fight in December right now. Eddie Hearn could throw some money. You know what they're going to do? Nah, I ain't going to risk it right now. At this age, why risk it with Boots? Just wait. I can have enough money. I'm already going back and forth with Vergil Ortiz. I'm going to wait on that. And then Puerto Rican versus Mexican is one of the most lucrative fights they can make. You could do that with Fundura as well. That's what I mean about Boots is heading to Boo-Booville. I hope not. I hope that Demetrius Andrade still get a fight because in the 168-pound division, there's still fights to be made. I hope he could get a Caleb Plank. I hope he could get a Jamal Charlo. I hope that his friend, Bud Crawford, Bud Crawford always saying that he never got the opportunity, that he was blackballed, that he wasn't given the opportunity that he deserved at the time. Well, give your boy, Demetrius Andrade an opportunity. Same opportunity that Canelo Alvarez gave you. And even with that, people's like, nah, Demetrius Andrade should not get a Bud Crawford fight. No. Same thing they're going to do with Boots. Because Boots could have fought Tio, Vergil, Brian Norman, Devin Haney. By the time these guys reach to the 154, they're going to say, why Boots? He did 15K like 2 fights ago out there in Wells Fargo's arena. His last fight was like 9,000 people looking on. So now is the public is going, shh. The numbers are going lower. First round KO versus Lima. A lot of people's not surprised. Everybody is tired. Already had 30 fights with that. Just like when Boo Andrade knocked out Jason Quigley in the second round and broke his jaw. People wasn't calling for the Canelo Alvarez fight. People wasn't shaming for Canelo Alvarez to fight him in 168. People was okay with the Munguias and the John Riders and the Berlanga. They ain't even shame. It's gonna get like that with Boots. Next fight, Boots better fight with somebody with a significant name. Oh, he's gonna be done. I'm telling you. And I'm not over exaggerating. I've seen this before. We've seen this before.